the fall almost 40% has taken all the risk whichever the market is considering for Tata Motors with respect to the high inventory in December, or else with respect to the tariff which is going to come in the EV segment as well as in the auto segment. So I think that risk is being covered in the price right now. Fundamentally, again, there is a lot of stories going forward in next 1 year with respect to demerger from BV and CV. So that also can create a lot of value for the investors. So I'm advising him to average at this point of time and hold it for at least 12 months from the current levels.
Right, so average is what view coming from Prashant. Let's head up to the next query, which is from Srinath from Bangalore. He says that he has about 1,000 shares in Prism Johnson's, and his query is it possible for Prism Johnson's to cross 250 in the near term, say in a few months? Now, if you see in the last 1 year, the stock is down almost 29%. So let me just come to Vikas, because his view is short term. So Vikas, what do you think about that?
Well, the view is of short term and he wants the share price to double. So which is really doesn't seems like in this market it would happen, because markets are in corrective phase. No doubt the correction would be over, but some time correction is to be needed. So we do not expect 250 odd levels, but maybe 143 to 145 a bounce can be expected into the stock, because the stock has made some good bottom up formation near 215, 118 levels. So the recent pullback could be extended to 140 to 145 over the next 3 to 4 months.
Okay, understood. And now we have Amit. He is calling us from Hyderabad. Hi Amit, good evening.
Hi ma'am, good evening.
Good evening. What's your question, Amit, today?
My question is regarding Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. I have about 35 shares at average price of 2,000.
Okay.
Is this the right time to add on? I also have Mazgaon. I'm very bullish on defense sector.
Okay, understood. Prashant, what's your view on HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics? Our viewer holds 35 shares of this company at an average price of 2,000. He's also made a decent profit for himself. He's asking if this is the right time to add more units of HAL to his portfolio, because it's a strong defense counter.
As you rightly said, again, if he is a long-term investor, obviously I will advocate him to buy more at this point of time and add more on dips also. Considering again, defense would be a critical sector for India to focus high on a long-term story. Government is focusing high again. The recent fall was on the back of what there is a deal between US and India with respect to more import and less export. So, but I think going forward, HA will have a lot of export opportunities other than the Western countries like US. So overall, on a fundamental side, very positive valuation. I am very much comfortable with respect to the order book which he has. I think at least 4 to 5 years of visibility. I think overall the scenario says go ahead with this stock, hold it for long term.
Okay, understood. And now we have another caller joining us from Chennai. Hi Venkat, good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Ask away your question, Venkat.
Yeah, I'm holding Ashok Leyland at the rate of 126. I'm holding 320 shares.
Okay.
Just wanted to know, like, I can get it hold for long term. Can I accumulate more for the coming days?
Got it, Venkat. And since when have you been holding on to these 320 shares?
More than 1 year.
Okay, over a year. Okay. And how long are we looking at? For how long do you want to hold?
For another year. One more year.
1 more year. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Vikas, I'd like to take your view on Ashok Leyland from a long-term perspective. Venkat holds 320 shares at 126 apiece. It's currently trading around 225, which is not very far from its 52-week high. Do you think these levels are expensive to buy more units, or what would your recommendation to Venkat be?
Well, if you look at the stock has done pretty well compared to the whole automotive space. It is trading near to almost 3 to 4% away from the 52-week high, but would not be a prudent strategy to add on current levels, because 240 to 45 is a multiple top which we have witnessed rise and then it has declined. So we believe the risk reward ratio does not go in favor. In fact, if it comes near to 240, he can put some amount of profits and invest into some other corrective phase of auto stocks like Tata Motors or Mahindra at current levels.
Okay, got it. Well, next, let's move on to next query, which is coming from Dharma from Andhra Pradesh. He says that he owns 29 shares of Praj Industries at an average price of rupees 632. He wants to know the 1 year outlook of the stock and about the sector also. And also he wants to, he has a view for long term, like 2 years outlook. and he says that he's comfortable to hold it for 2 to 3 years if the fundamentals and growth of sector are looking good. So Prashant, since Dharma wants to know the fundamental outlook for the company and also wants to know the overall view on the sector, what do you say?
I think it's a proxy player for all the ethanol business outlook of India. Our government is focusing a lot of initiatives to take ethanol as a blending product for petrol and diesel to be used in the Indian markets going forward from 10% to 15% and 15% to 20% in next 5 to 6 years. So I think with this story, I think if he's a long-term investor, obviously yes, he can hold it at this point of time. I will not recommend him to buy more at this point of time again because with respect to valuation, not comfortable to advise him to accumulate more at these levels. If there is again a dip of 5 to 10% more from the current levels, obviously yes, below 450 or 480 levels. So I think that would be a good level to hold, add more, and then look it as a long-term story. Obviously, he's right in terms of catching the stock with respect to the proxy for the ethanol business model for India.
Right, got it. Well, moving on to next query, which is coming from Kiran from Dubai. He wants to know the KFin. He wants to talk about the KFin Technologies. Is it good to buy at current levels? And his view is for long-term investment. So, Vikas, since he wants to know that whether this counter is good when it comes to buy at the current level, what will you suggest? Is it good to buy at the current level?
If you look at the structure has witnessed good amount of correction over the last 3.5 months, and at the current price it offers a good scope of value because it is at multi-month support area. So we believe the stock could see some amount of strong upwind near to those previous top. So it would accumulate the current levels at the current price. Another 3 to 5% declines, it would add more. So it's a good buy at current price.
Prashant, since the viewer has a long-term perspective when it comes to KFin Technologies, any fundamental view that you have on this company?
I'm very positive on the companies which are into the capital intermediaries. This company is mostly providing services and solutions to the asset managers and mutual fund for creating portfolios. So I think if you consider mutual fund industry, which is growing very faster, and I think that will have a lot of positive impact on the companies like KFin Tech or CMS CAMS. So I'm positive on the company in terms of fundamentals. Again, valuation obviously yes, a little bit concern. Again, a 50p forward again with a price to book value of 12x at this point of time. Not comfortable to buy at this point of time. Obviously, if 10-15% downside from the current level by any reason, I think that would be a good level to add.
Okay, got it. And let's move to another WhatsApp query. Rangesh has written to us from Bengaluru. He holds 53 shares of CDSL at 1,220 a piece, and he's wanting a one-year view on CDSL. The stock is currently trading around 1,198, and our viewer is sitting on a loss of close to $1,000. Vikas, what was your view on CDSL looking like?
We can continue to hold on. No doubt the stock has witnessed good correction post inclusion into the F&O segment. So it witnessed some amount of volatility from those 1400 to make a high up to 2100 odd levels. From there, the stock has declined pretty sharply. We believe the stock looks interesting at the current juncture. So at post the liquidity corporate action also witnessed into the space, we believe the stock will move further. So we can hold on till the target of around 1380 to 1430 over the next 3 to 4 months.
Okay, understood. And let's take up another WhatsApp query. VS Bhatt has written to us from Bengaluru again, and he holds shares of Apar Industries. Currently, he holds 10 units of this company, purchased at 2,900 a piece, and he has been holding on to these shares for the last 2 years. He's asking for the next 6 to 8 months outlook on the company. Vikas, what's your view for the next 6 to 8 months of Apar Industries? Do you think the share price will improve further, or what is the future looking like?
So the longer-term structure has weakened because if you look at the stock had a multi-year, multi-bull run from the high lows of around sub 1200, 1300 to almost 10,000 odd. And since then, the stock has been in a continuous corrective phase. So we believe some more structural story needs to, and the stock would further decline near to 4,800 to 5,000 odd. So if the view is very immediate basis, he should avoid. But if the view is of long term, then it would continue to hold on because the stock has witnessed good correction. So 4,800 to 5,000 would be a good entry point.
Got And now we have another caller joining us from Bengaluru again. So many calls and queries from Bengaluru. Janardhana is calling us. Hi, Janardhana.
Yeah, hi.
Please ask away your question today.
So I'm holding a PG Electroplast of 100 shares with 855 average.
Okay.
So I bought this last year mid, and right now it's down, and whether I can accumulate or should I sell? I want your recommendation on that.
Okay, and for how long have you been accumulating these shares, if I may know?
6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. Okay, and your average price has been 855.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Prashant, what's your view on PG Electroplast? Our viewer holds 100 shares at 855 currently. He wants to know the long-term perspective on this one. What does your analysis say?
I think with respect to fundamentals, it is into ODM segment, that is original design manufacturing, equipment manufacturing companies. So obviously, it has a great run last 2-3 years back. But now with this market correction with respect to the mid cap and small cap, I think the stock has corrected almost like 20-25% from the top. So with this correction, I'm comfortable to advise him to hold the stock for at least for a long term again. So the stock can recover to its all-time high, which is around 1,055 at least for 1 or 2 quarters going forward. That may be very much visible once we see the Q1 earnings next financial year. So overall, I'm very much positive, but fresh buy at this point of time, I will avoid him again because the valuations are not comfortable immediately to advise him to add more at this point of time if he's in loss.
Okay, got it. And now we have another caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Chandra. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for taking my call.
Most welcome. Please ask your question.
Yeah, I have a query between two stocks. One is Maharashtra Bank and Bank of India.
Okay.
Out of which one can I average it now, or can I hold both? I have both the stocks.
Okay, and how many units of Maharashtra Bank and Bank of India do you currently hold?
Bank of India, it's around 250 quantity, and Maharashtra Bank 200.
Okay, 200 to 250 is a range.
And both are in significant loss.
Right, okay. And for how long do you want to hold on to these shares?
More than 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years. Okay, that's a long-term view that you're looking at. Prashant, I'll come to you on this one. Our viewer wants to know your take on Bank of India and Bank of Maharashtra. Both these stocks seem to be sitting on some kind of pain at the moment because both of them have been down. What's your outlook on these two stocks? And if you could also comment on the banking space.
I think, yes, overall banking space is in trouble from last 6 months. Overall, the PSU as well as the private sector, despite seeing markets being on a very negative trend. Earlier, it was said to be that markets are doing very bullish trend. Again, a lot of money is flowing into equity markets and not going into the banking space. So, but now I think there is some kind of good credit growth being seen in a lot of top 10, top 5 banks in PSU as well as private banks. But when we compare both these banks, I am very much comfortable with Bank of Maharashtra, both in terms of valuation as well as the growth prospect. Bank of Maharashtra is more into retail banking, I think, compared with Bank of India. Bank of India has lesser retail as a part, but a lot of government-supported initiatives taken in the Bank of India as a business model. So when we compare these both, I think I would recommend him to hold on to Bank of Maharashtra at this point of time again. The valuation is almost very much comfortable. It is trading at 1.7 times the book value. Again, the other ratios which are very much comfortable to say hold this bank, but I am not comfortable with Bank of India at this point of time. There may be a lot of correction pending in the stock, and go ahead with Bank of Maharashtra.
Okay, so go away with Bank of Maharashtra, but not comfortable with Bank of India. Well, moving on, we have next query, which is from Sanjay from Delhi. He says that he has 350 shares of Balmer Lawrie at 135 per piece. He wants to hold it for 3 years. So basically, he wants a long-term view for the stock. So Prashant, let me come to you. What is your view when it comes to a viewer who wants to hold the particular counter for next 3 years?
See, I'm just confused with his cost of buying. He says almost 350, which is more than the 52-week high. Currently sitting at 50% loss. Not comfortable to immediately say him this. He add more at this point of time, because again, valuation is a concern. The stock is into multiple sectors. Again, it is into industrial packing, leather chemicals, logistics services. Again, so I'm not comfortable about this company at this point of time. I would recommend him to. He can exit at this point of time and then look for any other good quality, fundamental, strong companies so that he can recover his cost for long-term basis.
Prashant, let me just correct you. He has bought 350 shares at 135 per piece.
Okay, so even though if he's in profit again, I think at this point of time I'm not comfortable with the valuation again, because multiple sector again, the stock is not delivered a good type of return in a long term basis. So I can advise him to book his profit and then look for any other good companies to long term.
Okay, got it. And we have another call from Bengaluru again. Shankar is on the phone line. Hi Shankar, good evening.
Hi ma'am, good evening ma'am.
Please ask away your question, Shankar.
Ma'am, KPI Green Energy stock, 1,500 stock, average price of 530.
Okay.
So 4 months back buy ma'am, KPI Green Energy, 1,500 stock, average price of 530.
Understood.
Short term 9 months ma'am.
Okay. Vikas, what's your take on KPI Green? Shankar bought 1,500 shares at an average price of 530, and the stock currently trades around 396 levels. Do you think it's a good space to be invested in as a green energy company?
So the segment looks pretty attractive, but in terms of KPI Green, we have the reservations and also being great. I think we have discussed this very multiple times on your channel at various state points near to 480 to 450 odd levels. And since the stock has witnessed some amount of bounce, we believe anything one should continue to avoid, or you can exit on rallies near to 410, 430 if the broader market improves.
Right, got it. Well, moving on, next query is from Vikas, who is from Bangalore. He asked about Tata Power. So he holds almost 130 shares at a price range of rupees 125. He's asking if we can add more at the current levels. So Vikas, your views on that? Can this counter be added at the current levels?
Yeah, surely Tata Power looks pretty interesting in the whole power space because the company has multiple businesses, whether in terms of the structure. The stock is also holding its 100-week average support area and witnessing good amount of bounce. The corrective action which has been put through from those 480, 500 levels also been put in place. So it's a good entry point to enter into the stock. We believe the stock can bounce back near to 395 to 410 over the next 3 to 4 months.
Okay, got it. And now we have another caller. Sadik is calling us from Bangalore, from Karnataka. Hi, Sadik.
Hello, hi.
Where in Karnataka are you calling from?
Shimoga, place called Shimoga.
Shimoga, okay. Welcome to the show. Please ask your question.
I would like to know, right now the market is falling.
Right.
And I want to start investing in the markets. I need to know when would the recovery start, and is there any sector specific where I can look into?
Okay.
And
yes, please continue.
Going further, I would like to invest around 5 lakh rupees in the Indian market.
Okay, amazing. Prashant, this is a very interesting question for anybody who wants to enter the markets, given the volatile scenario that we're experiencing at the moment. If I had to pose and ask you, give me your top 3 sectors, the safest bets where Sadik can put in 5 lakh rupees at the moment in Indian markets.
I think this is the $1 million question at every investor's mind in this market. From last 6 months, markets have been corrected and there are no levels which everybody is investing right now. So I think the short term, there will be a lot of volatility still to continue. But obviously, yes, right time to start accumulating good fundamental stocks for a long-term investment. I may not advise him to invest all the 5 lakhs rupees today, even tomorrow morning again. But obviously, 25 to 30% of the money can be invested in these markets again, and gradually he can start adding those stocks. And whenever the market corrects more. So if you want to invest again, I think for short to medium term, again, power stocks looks very good for me. Right now, we were discussing about Tata Power. That would be one of first pick for me. Again, in the early stage of this show, we discussed about Tata Motors. Again, that would be the second stock for me to invest again. Sector as well. Again, automobile, EV. I like this sector very much again. So again, something on the PSU segment, again, SBI Bank and Bank of Baroda can also be a good stocks to invest at least. But again, 25 to 30% should be the amount of money he has to invest at this point of time. Overall, markets looks very much already discounted a lot of negativity in the global markets. But overall, markets looks very positive from current levels.
So positive on the market side. Well, we'll have to slip into a short break. Keep sending in your queries on WhatsApp and call in. We'll be right back for Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
Very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit Conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the trading also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I sit, I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
भाषण सुना उसके बाद मेरा पहला एक्रोनिम निकाला मैंने, वो था RRR, रिस्पॉन्सिबल, रिफॉर्मिस्ट, और मैंने कहा रिवॉल्यूशनरी। हाउ डिड यू अराइव एट दिस नंबर ऑफ 12 लाख रुपीस?
हमें लगता है टैक्स पेयर उस लेवल नंबर से टैक्स भर रहा है, क्या उनको हम कुछ कर सकते हैं?
प्राइवेट सेक्टर कैपेक्स अभी तक वो इन्वेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, जबकि आपका इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ही बताता है कि वो कैश पाइल पे बैठे हुए हैं।
अगर कंजम्पशन बढ़ता और उसके तहत लगता है कि ग्रेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट का पॉसिबिलिटी है, वो भी अच्छा ट्रिगर हो सकता है।
एआई बहुत तेजी से आ रहा है, तो जॉब के चैलेंजेस होंगे, स्किल के चैलेंज पहले से हैं, तो जो ट्रांजिशन पीरियड का स्ट्रगल है, नौकरी मुझे अभी चाहिए।
पूरे साल का एक्सपोजर दिलाने के लिए हम इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम ले आए और इसके साथ साथ इस बजट में भी ट्रेनिंग फॉर एआई, इसके लिए सेंटर्स बनाए हैं।
Tax regime for individual. In fact, there has been discussion on how to sort of reduce the tax rate.
I am now happy to announce that there will be no income tax payable up to income of 12 lakh rupees.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Welcome back to Ask Profit. Well, for this show we have Prashant Tapse on the fundamental side and Vikas Jain on the technical side, who will be answering the questions of the viewers. Well, moving on, we have the next query is from Amol, who is from Noida. Hello Amol.
Me?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. How can we help you?
So I bought around 50 shares of Sun Pharma, and I bought it at around 1760 rupees. And I just want to know the 6 to 1 year view. And because actually I also want to know when the tariff will be applied from the US, can it be passed on to the local distributors there or to the end consumers, right?
Got it.
On the
Okay.
pharmaceuticals.
Got it. So I'll first go to Prashant. So Prashant, and then I'll go to Vikas for the technical view as well. So Prashant, Amol has 50 shares of Sun Pharma at 1,760 a piece, and he has two questions. One is he wanted to know the impact of tariffs on the Indian pharmaceutical companies, whether the cost, the increased cost due to tariffs would be passed on to customers. This is the first question that he has, and also your view on the next 6 months for the counter. And the interesting thing about Sun Pharma is Sun Pharma is actually moving into the specialty segment, and the specialty segment actually did well for the company. So first of all, your view on the tariffs and the overall counter on Sun Pharma.
I think yes, with respect to tariff, the whole sector is under trouble. If you see last term of Trump 1.0 in 2017 and 2021, the whole sector was underperforming the markets by 20% at least. So I think with respect to that, again, the stock has already discounted a lot, almost 15 to 18% from the top. So the lot of disturbance has already happened. The question of passing on the tariff, which will be obviously yes, they will try to at least pass on the prices, that will be affecting more on the US consumers. Again, obviously they will be getting higher price of products of Sun Pharma. That will affect their own economy, and that will also bring in some kind of inflation in the pharma sector in the US market. Obviously, but for time being, it is difficult to comment what percentage will this sector get. Overall, the assumption is between 15 to 25%, but it is still under negotiation, and that will be very much clear by March and or 1st of April. So that is a question one should watch for. But with respect to stock, again, I'm very much comfortable with respect to the valuation at this point of time, despite being at the higher in the industries. When we compare to Cipla, Mankind Pharma and all. So I'm very much comfortable for a long-term investors to add more on the dips. But overall, the sector looks very much comfortable at this point of time.
Right. So Prashant says that add more on the dips, and he is kind of bullish on the pharmaceutical sector. Vikas, coming to you, how are the things looking on charts when it comes to Sun Pharma?
So Sun Pharma was a major outperformer in the whole pharma space. No doubt some profit booking has been witnessed into the February month, and since the stock has broken its 200-day average, some volatility has increased on the downside. So maybe a price-wise correction or a time-wise correction of another 3 to 4% would be likely into the stock. And again, near to those 1570, 1580, which is at almost 20 weeks average. So that should hold on. So that's a good entry point to enter into the name. So we can continue to hold what is holding through, and even we can buy further near to 1570 odd levels.
Okay, got it. And now we have Subir. He's calling us from Gurugram. Hi, Subir. Good evening.
Yeah, hi.
Please ask your question, Subir.
Yeah, so I have three stocks. One is Angel One. I have 35 shares at 2938.
Okay.
Another is Imami.
Okay.
I have 100 shares at 624.
Okay.
And other one is Raymond. I have 45 shares at 1898. So I've been holding this for quite some time. I'm looking for long term. So
Okay.
I want to know that view.
Okay, Subir, because we have a time crunch and we have a lot of callers to address to, so I'd request you to choose one stock that we can properly analyze for you today. And which one would that be for you?
Angel One.
Angel One. Okay, and how many shares did you say you hold?
I'm holding 35 shares at
35 shares at 290 rupees a piece, right?
No, 2938.
2938.
38, yes.
Got it. And since when do you hold these shares?
It's been around 2 months.
2 months. Okay, got it. Prashant, I will take your view on Angel One. Our viewer Subir holds 35 shares of Angel One at 2,938 rupees a piece. What's your view for the long term on Angel One on this broking platform?
And again, very much comfortable to be positive on the capital market intermediaries like Angel One. Again, we already discussed CDSL and other stock. So overall, the market looks very positive. Obviously, it is a proxy for overall market trend. So one would like to track Indian markets. If they are bullish on Indian markets, obviously Angel One and other broking companies should look very positive. With respect to valuation, again, very much comfortable at 3 price to book, price to book value at this point of time. Again, forward earning of 12 PE. So very comfortable on a fundamental side to add more on dips again, and long term very positive.
Got it. Well, okay, so our next caller is Subodh, who is from Kanpur. Hi Subodh, welcome, and please go ahead with your query.
Madam, I want to know about the Pondy Oxides and Chemicals Limited. Can I buy this at present level?
Okay, Subodh, just a counter question. Do you hold any of the stocks of this, or you want a fresh entry?
Yes. I want this company is in the lead recycling, and
Correct.
it is a very old company, and at present it is around 600 between 600 and 700.
Got it.
Yes,
Prashant, let me come to you on this. Since he wants a fresh entry, so wanted to know about the overall sector of recycling, number one, and number two, what will you advise to this investor, considering he wants to enter into this industry at current levels and at such bloodbath that we are seeing in the market?
With respect to the industry, obviously the sector is very much in a fast growing sector. India's largest second lead manufacturing, and as well as in the recycling. Recycling looks very good for me for a longer perspective again. With respect to valuations, again, 30 P would not be comfortable for me at this point of time. Not a good level to entry, I think you can wait for another small fall, at least by 10% from the current levels. 550, 580 can be a range, a good level where even the valuations gets more comfortable. That would be a good price for me to advise him to buy more. Overall fundamentals looks very good. Again, I think I'm tracking this stock from last many quarters. So I think I'm waiting for the right time to enter, but again, not at this point of time.
Right. So Prashant says to wait for the correct time to enter. But Vikas, your view when it comes to Pondy Oxides, technically, is it good time to enter into the stock?
So I would agree with Prashant. Technically also the stock doesn't look great, because since the corporate action, say last year, the stock is in a continuous supply and it has witnessed continuous drawdown from the higher part of the range, and post the breakdown of the 200-day average, it is also witnessing sharp correction. So the next band of support area comes pretty weak. So anything near to 550 or 560 odd would be a good entry point to enter into the name, but not at current levels.
Understood. And now we have Mohit. He's calling us from Uttar Pradesh. Hi Mohit, good evening, namaste. Please ask your question.
Hi ma'am. My question is on Adani Enterprises. I am holding 500 shares at the rate of 2200 rupees.
Okay.
My question is, can I add more at 2020 or 30 levels? Can I see that levels in few days?
Okay. And for how long do you want to hold on to these shares?
Yes, ma'am.
For how long do you want to hold on to these shares?
I'm 6 months.
6 months. Okay. Vikas, what's your view on Adani Enterprises? Mohit holds 500 shares of this company at 2,200 a piece, which is very close to its 52-week low. He's asking the trajectory of the stock in the short term, say 6 months. Where do you see the stock going?
So from an immediate basis, no doubt the stock is witnessing some amount of bounce, but again on the higher side, it's not breaking above those 2200 levels or 2280 odd, and witnessing some. So he wants to purchase at near to 2030 odd, and with the broader market weakness and being an index stock, believe it would get his price. So he can accumulate the share at near to 2030, because 2000 to 1970 was a June month low when the index witnessed a strong decline. So it can accumulate the share. On the higher side, if the stock crosses 20 to 30, 20 to 50 odd, and we would witness strong amount of up move near to 2450. So we remain positive with a target of 2450 over the next 2 quarters.
Okay, got it. And now, just a disclaimer, viewers, NDTV is a subsidiary of AMG Media Networks Limited, which is an Adani Group company. And now we have another caller, Rakesh. He's calling us from Bengaluru. Hi, Rakesh. Good evening.
Hi ma'am, namaste.
Namaste. Ask away your question.
I have a question on fresh buy on Radico Khaitan.
Okay.
And Chinese. Is it time to buy?
Understood. And why are you interested in Radico Khaitan?
Currently I'm looking on this beverages is going good and alcohol consumption is increasing in India.
Okay.
So I just wanted to check on that.
Got it. Prashant, what's your view on Radico Khaitan? Rakesh wants to know if this is the right time to buy. Do you think the price is overvalued or expensive, reasonable? Go ahead, give us your view.
I think it's the right time to buy the product, not the stock. So I think with respect to valuation, not comfortable to buy at 80 PE stock with price to book value of 11x times. So I need to wait for more time, at least 1 or 2 quarters. The earnings were also not so good. The volumes have been declined in last third quarter at least. So there may be some kind of volume increase in the fourth quarter. So I will be wait and watch for the fourth quarter numbers and then take a call on Radico Khaitan, but not at this point of time.
Okay, understood. And now we have another caller, Sanjay. He's calling us from the city of Nawabs, Lucknow. Hi Sanjay, namaste.
Hi. Yes, ma'am, namaste.
Please ask me your question.
Ma'am, I was purchaser of the Cummins India share,
Okay.
30 share at the rate of 3,100.
Okay.
And next stop is HAL as the rate of 3,520 share. What is the future one? I am the medium term investor.
Okay, Sanjay, we'll be able to address only one query, and we have already addressed HAL in the show previously, so you can go back and have a look at that
Cummins India, ma'am. Cummins India.
Yeah, we will address Cummins India. Vikas, I'll take your view on Cummins India. Sanjay holds 30 shares at 3,100 a piece. The stock is currently trading around 2,788 or so and has seen quite a bit of correction lately. What's your view for the next 6 months on Cummins?
So if you look at the capital goods space had witnessed good correction over the last 2.5 months. And Cummins India was also one of the part of it, but we believe the correction has been overdone into the name, and the stock has witnessed good amount of bounce. So if you look at the last 5-day structure, the stock is outperforming compared to the broader market witness. So we believe the stock will move further higher. They maybe the immediate target price should be around 3,100, what the client's purchase price is, and if that is being crossed, then the stock can further move to 3,250 to 3,300 over the next 3 to 6 months. So we can continue to hold.
Right, continue to hold. Well, moving on, our next query is from Venkat, who is from Bengaluru. He is asking about Biocon. So he has 150 shares of Biocon at 330 per piece. He wants to ask if he can hold on to Biocon or if he can sell, because currently he is at a loss of around 1,000 rupees. Prashant, let me come to you, because just talking about the Biocon, we know that Biocon is moving towards biosimilars, being aggressive when it comes to biosimilars. Yesterday there was this announcement that company launched one of its biosimilars in US as well. Syngene, which is a subsidiary of Biocon, is doing well, at least started doing well in at least Q3, and companies seeing US biotech funding also improving for the company as a whole. So what is your view on whether this counter should be in the portfolio or he should sell it?
Obviously, yes, it should be part of your portfolio. It should be considered as a portfolio stock, as a long-term investor, not for the short-term period. Again, there may be some kind of volatility, again, selling pressure because of the sector presence in the pharma with respect to tariff headlines, which are making the sector into some deep trouble. So, but obviously for me, at least a 2 to 3 years view, Biocon would be a good strategy to add more. Again, not at this price, because valuation wise not comfortable. Again, with respect to P, again trading at 45 forward, so not comfortable to buy at this point of time. Again, a small correction of another 8 to 10% can be a good way to look at this price and then add more in the portfolio. But again, as a portfolio investor, you should wait for 1 or 2 years.
Got it. And now we have Anindya. He's calling us from Chennai. Hi Anindya, good evening.
Hi, very good evening.
What's your question today?
Hi, very good evening. Good evening to all. Well, the query which I am having, I'm holding 21 shares of Naib, and the average price is quite lower than the current market price. Okay, it is approximately having around 39% of downside in my portfolio.
Okay.
Okay, my query for long term.
Anindya, sorry, we could not hear you clearly, but I've gotten your question. Anindya holds 21 shares of NIBE at 1,759. The company is engaged in manufacturing of critical components for defense, e-vehicles and software development and is currently trading around 1,064 rupees and was also close to 1.5% up in trade today. However, the stock has seen some kind of a decline in the stock market since the 7th of February. Vikas, I'd like to take your view on NIBE. How does the long-term outlook on this one look like?
I believe the stock has just listed on the NSE very recently, and since then the structure remains pretty weak. But some bottom-up formation has been placed into the name at the current levels, and the stock is outperforming over the last 1 to 3 days period, as you suggested. So we can continue to hold on. We believe the stock will see some amount of bounce from current levels, and the stock being of a small cap nature, the bounce should be also been pretty quick. So we can continue to hold.
Got it. Well, next query is from Gopal, who is from Hyderabad. So he's holding 40,000 shares of Vodafone Idea at rupees 11 a piece. He wants to know the long-term view of this counter. So let me come to you, Prashant. How are you viewing this counter?
With respect to long-term, again, I am very much bullish on telecom as a sector, but not bullish on Vodafone because there are a lot of risks still being waited to watch for the stock. A lot of cash burn is going on in this company to build their assets. Again, with respect to towers, they are adding a lot of towers every hour, every day, but still not able to control their customers which are going out month-on-month basis. With respect to risk, again, it's a high risk, high return category stock right now. Very longer term period, one can think of getting some value out of this stock, like 4 to 5 years kind of view, but not with the short term period. Again, there will be a lot of selling pressure at every high at 9 to 10 rupees again, because again the FPO price of 11 rupees, a lot of people have applied for, and there people are waiting. Once the stock touches 10 to 11, there will be a lot of selling pressure seen in the stock. So if the investor is like 4 to 5 years kind of view with high risk, high return category, obviously he can hold the stock, but in the medium term, I don't expect any bounce in the stock.
Okay, got it. That's a view coming in on Vodafone. And now we have Lokesh calling us from Bengaluru again. Hi, Lokesh. Good evening.
Hi. First of all, great show.
Thank you so much.
So my query is regarding the Equitas Bank. So I hold around 1,600 shares of Equitas Bank at an average price of 75 rupees. So I have I'm looking for a long-term growth, like how it's going to be for the Equitas Bank.
Okay, got it. Prashant, because Lokesh wants a long-term view on Equitas Small Finance Bank, I'd like to ask you what your view on this particular company looks like. Because it hails from the MFI space, and in the entire banking space, this has been one pain point where analysts, investors have been really, really worried and concerned. However, there's also another thing that, because of the current market scenario and the kind of weak returns that we might see from the equity market, do you think deposit rates could increase and therefore that effect could somehow put a positive impact on the MFI, or MFI pain will still continue in the long term?
I think the pain will continue. I'm being negative on the small banking finance for many quarters at least. So, but again, see, the sector is going into deep trouble, and that will continue because their balance sheet as well as their ratios are not comfortable to sustain these pressure in the market with respect to business economics. When the bigger banks like HDFC Bank or PSU, SBI Bank are taking so much trouble in terms of hiking the deposit rate and collecting a lot of deposit and even considering credit growth at a risk. So I think small banking finance will continue to see the pain for a medium term to long term again. There may be some kind of bounce back once the broader market turns to be positive next 1 or 2 quarters. Then there can be some kind of bounce back towards 60-65 levels. Then that price can be utilized to exit the stock. But timing, I'm very much negative on the sector as well as the stock.
Understood. And now we have Devanshu. He is on the phone line from Hyderabad. Hi, Devanshu. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please ask away your question.
I have query about IOC. I bought at 140, 180 shares. Can I hold or sell?
Got it. Vikas, what's your view on IOC? Devanshu holds 180 shares at 140 a piece and is sitting on a loss of close to 4,000 at the moment from this investment. The stock did see a dip of close to 1.5% today and has been on a constant downward trajectory since September of 2024. What is your view?
We can continue to hold on because the risk-reward ratio remains in favor at current levels. The sell-off which has happened continues to remain in a way that crude prices are expected to see some amount of corrective action. IOC would be a major beneficiary, being one of the largest refinery and oil marketing company. The dividend yield is also been pretty good. So the risk-reward ratio remains in favor. Maybe technically the stock would see some amount of bounce back near to 131, 132. And if that is being crossed, then 140, 45 would be expected. So continue to hold at the current levels.
Okay, so continue to hold on the current levels. Well, next query is from Rajan from Bengaluru. He has 50 shares of Wipro at 305 per share. He wants to know a 6 months view on the same. So let me come to Vikas on this. Vikas, what is your view when it comes to Wipro for 6 months?
I believe the stock would continue to remain an underperformer. Even the whole IT space, if you look at, the stock has been a consistent underperformer, and the stock is almost on the verge of breaking its 100 weeks average. Post-tax bonus, a lot of liquidity has been shut into the name, and the stock has witnessed continuous corrective action. So the stock can further decline near to 265 to 75, which would be the 200-day average. So we believe that one should exit the stock and invest them into something else.
Got it. Okay, moving on to next one, we have Mukherjee from Kolkata. He wants to know about Shalby. So he has 200 shares of Shalby at 196 per share. He wants a 3-year view. So again, Prashant, coming to you, considering Mukherjee has a 3-year view on the particular counter. How are you seeing this?
Very much positive again. The sector which is into almost healthcare services to the patients, as well as a multi-child hospital across the India. So I think overall the sector looks very positive with a view of 3 years. Obviously, I am very much comfortable to recommend him to hold the stock. But if you would like to add more, not at this price again, I will recommend him to wait for some more time. I think there's a good correction going on in the sector as well as in the stock. So a stock anywhere between 180 can be a good level to buy. Very much positive for long term.
And very quickly, we have another caller joining us, Mayappan from Chennai. Hi, Mayappan.
Hi, fine.
Good evening. Please ask your question.
Good evening. I want to enter IGL, sir.
Okay. And?
Now I can accommodate or I have to wait for?
Okay, Mayappan, do you hold any shares of IGL at the moment?
Yeah, 100 shares at 201.
Okay, and you want to buy more?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Vikas, what's your view on IGL? He holds 100 shares at 202 a piece. Do you think it's a good space, good level to buy more?
Yeah, interestingly, this stock is poised from strong up move, and it's a good space to enter as well as the price, because we believe the stock has made a double bottom near to 191, 192 odd levels. It witnessed a strong move from 190 to 210, and now again it retraced some amount of it, so it's a good entry point. I believe the stock can bounce back to 230 to 240 over the next 3 to 4 months. A good point to enter.
And with that, it's a goodbye, Vikas and Prashant. Thank you so much for answering all the questions of our viewers. And we will see you back soon. And viewers, thank you so much for joining us and asking all your questions. You can continue to call us on the numbers flashing on your screen as we take them live on Ask Profit, only on NDTV Profit. But do stay tuned to the channel for more news and updates. A lot more lined up for you on the other side.
Very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit Conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the breading also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I sit, I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
भाषण सुना उसके बाद मेरा पहला एक्रोनिम निकाला मैंने, वो था RRR, रिस्पॉन्सिव, रिस्पॉन्सिबल, रिफॉर्मिस्ट, और मैंने कहा रिवॉल्यूशनरी। हाउ डिड यू अराइव एट दिस नंबर ऑफ 12 लाख रुपीस?
हमें लगता है टैक्स पेयर उस लेवल नंबर से टैक्स भर रहा है, क्या उनको हम कुछ कर सकते हैं?
प्राइवेट सेक्टर कैपेक्स अभी तक वो इन्वेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, जबकि आपका इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ही बताता है कि वो कैश पाइल पे बैठे हुए हैं।
अगर कंजम्पशन बढ़ता और उसके तहत लगता है कि ग्रेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट का पॉसिबिलिटी है, वो भी अच्छा ट्रिगर हो सकता है।
AI बहुत तेजी से आ रहा है, तो जॉब के चैलेंजेस होंगे, स्किल के चैलेंज पहले से हैं, तो जो ट्रांजिशन पीरियड का स्ट्रगल है, नौकरी मुझे अभी चाहिए।
पूरे साल का एक्सपोजर दिलाने के लिए हम इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम ले आए, और इसके साथ साथ इस बजट में भी ट्रेनिंग फॉर AI इसके लिए सेंटर्स बनाए हैं।